Hello and welcome to our podcast. Now, this is number 6 in a series of 7, all about our behavioural model of Rambutan called Why People Do What They Do. Now, we're incredibly proud of our model. We've worked ever so hard to bring this to life for you. And we fundamentally believe that the content of this model in helping to understand why we behave in certain ways should be taught to everybody in schools, college, every single workplace. Now, today we are going to dive into another factor on our behavioural model. But just to remind you, our behavioural model is split into 2 sides. On one side, we've got our cultural factors. Now, these can be seen as the external elements that impact our behaviour, which are social influences, rules, and environment. And we've also got our personal factors. Now, these are the things that are going on inside of us, which influence our behaviour, which is purpose, belief, and capabilities. Today, we're going to zoom right in and we're going to have a look at rules. And Bijal, you're going to tell us a bit more about that.
Thanks, Craig. Yes, I am. So the factor of rules can be further split into 3 elements, and those are guidelines, policies and laws. Now, what do I mean by that? Guidelines are recommended ways of conducting yourself. And as an example, for those of you that have visited London Underground may have noticed that there are signs everywhere that say, keep left, or on the escalators, stand on the right. Now, how many of us follow those? Why do we follow those? Why do we not follow those? It's all really interesting, as no one's forcing us, they're just guidelines. The next level are policies. And in the workplace, there's often a lot of policies. At Rambutan, we often get asked why people don't follow a particular policy. And the thing that we like to look at is what other factors are there that come into play.
Yeah, these are factors that we'll find in our behavioural model, right? So you might think about, what's the environment? What's going on in the environment that may help or hinder someone's choice with following a policy? Or it might be that their own goals. Could the policy be blocking them on the goals? Or it might be that their beliefs or their mindset. All of these things we believe come together to help us to understand why policies need other behavioural elements to help us live them. And that's why you may experience on occasions or worked in an environment where maybe policies aren't followed. Because as humans, sometimes we will find a way around a policy.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So policies are stronger than guidelines, but they're not quite laws, and that's the next level of rules. So these are rules that are enshrined in the legal system. And Craig, I think you've got a story to share with us about a common law that many of us break.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to do this because I know that we're talking amongst friends, and like a lot of people, we're all law-abiding citizens. But there have been the odd occasion where maybe I haven't been law-abiding. So the example that I would give is not in the too distant past. I was caught speeding. Now, I wasn't doing exceptional speed, but it was above the speed limit. And the photo was taken of me as I was going under the bridge on the M1. And before you know, I got a beautiful letter come through the post that said to me, congratulations. You have a choice now, Craig. You can either have 3 points on your licence and a fine, or you can get some education and go to a speed awareness course. Now, I knew at that time that my halo must have just slipped for a moment because I'm an angel. These things don't happen that often to me. So I thought, you know what, I will take the speed awareness course because it's better than getting 3 points, right? So I went on the speed awareness course, and what struck me immediately is that never before have I been in a room where people have broken the law. So all of us were apparently lawbreakers, but never before have been surrounded by so many people just like me who were totally innocent. Now, the facilitator recognised this as well, and he asked us what we thought about being there. And as we went through it, so much justification of reasons that came out as to why people were broken the law. And it's just a one-off and da. And the facilitator was great. He didn't kind of try and hammer home. He simply said, the law on my case was 70 miles an hour, and you were doing X. Therefore, in the eyes of the law, you have broken that law. Fact. He then also explained that we had a choice, and I love the fact we were given a choice, which is we can either do the course, and we may even learn something, or if we preferred, we could leave now, and that'd be absolutely fine. We would have the benefit of 3 points on our licence and an additional fine. But he said, you've got the choice. He says, this isn't about right or wrong or up for discussion. The fact is, the law is here. This is what we have to abide by, and you have broken that law. End of story. That for me was really interesting, because at that moment in time, not only did I realise that actually, you know what, I had broken the law, and it is there to protect people and protect each other, but also actually we still have choices in these situations, which is why I think it's really interesting when we think about a behavioural model, how all these other factors impact us as well.
For those of you that have listened to our other podcasts, you'll know that now's the point where we like to give you a little challenge in the way of some coaching questions. The first question is, how do rules influence your behaviour? So that's guidelines, policies and laws. And the second question is, how can you help others to understand how guidelines, policies and laws influence their behaviour? And thinking about all of that, what can you learn going forward?
Okay, brilliant. So look, that's everything from us for now. Now, as we mentioned, this is the 6th podcast in a series of 7, which means that you have an option to listen to the other 6 and learn even more about our behavioural model, why people do what they do. So you can learn even more about the cultural and our personal factors. We really hope you do, because we're really passionate about this, and it would be great if you could share this with your colleagues and friends who you feel may benefit from it. So thanks ever so much. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.